Zombie Dogs is a member of the Hair of the Dogcast network. For access to episodes of this show every other week instead of once a month, check out patreon.com/Hair of the Dogcast. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show.
Zombie Dogs.
Hey there, zombie lovers, zombie dog lovers, and Resident Evil fans.
I don't like the zombie dogs.
Zombie dogs.
What was your reaction to the
dogs.
zombie dogs when they entered the chat?
An evil cackle and a wet pair of pantaloons. My name is Brad. This is a new podcast.
My name's Tyler, and I'm excited to be here.
My name is Stoya, and I dreamed about this day ever since the first Resident Evil game came out.
That you
One of these days,
you will
there's going to be a
podcast.
group of guys sitting around some microphones and just talking about random stuff. And one of those times, it's going to be me talking about Resident Evil stuff.
And indeed, today we're talking about Resident Evil stuff.
Kind of.
It's weird starting a new podcast. You probably, if you have arrived here, you might have heard us before. You might know us from Elden Dogs, another long-form show. This is kind of...
Our critically acclaimed podcast.
Yeah, this is kind of like in the vein of that. And this is a deep dive podcast. Elden Dogs is where we would talk about Elden Ring for 70-plus episodes like Mad Men. As we reached the end of that, we were discussing what we should do next. And I just saw the Resident Evil 2 board game on my shelf, and I'm like, yeah?
Yeah.
There was a bunch of different ideas I was kicking around in my noggin thinking,
Yeah,
remember when we talked about GOG dogs?
Walton Goggins deep dives?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But nothing seemed quite right, but Resident Evil just seemed perfect. And before we get into anything, so Zombie Dogs, we're doing a Resident Evil podcast. And what can you expect on this channel? We're going to be going chronologically, real world time, through all the releases. We're going to start at the PS1, Resident Evil 1, and then we're going to be covering everything, all the Game Boy Color game, the
Yes.
movies. We'll talk about pachinko. We'll talk about like amusement park shit.
Umbrella Corps.
That guy in Miami that ate that guy's face on bath salts, we'll probably talk about him too.
Yeah.
We
That was
just
like
did.
2012.
We just did.
Can we have a whole episode dedicated on that guy?
No.
I was in Florida when it happened.
I was.
We got firsthand experience. Come on.
You were the one eating the guy.
I was sleeping under the same underpass at the time, so technically it was my neighbor.
I know your Florida days were crazy.
It is a different man.
I need an episode on that. At least, come on. We got to sneak this in here.
We'll have probably a few weird ones.
Okay, all right.
Yes. Primarily, though, we're talking about Resident Evil, and there will be discussions on gameplay, discussions on characters as we go through the series. We're going to try and follow what is learned game by game. So when we're talking about Resident Evil 1, we're not going to talk about Las Plagas. We're not going to be talking about mold. It's going to be as we learn things.
Leon isn't even born yet.
No.
Leon is still at the barber, and he's still jacket shopping as far as this one is concerned. It's not even my first day. It's my 0th day.
He's bagging groceries at like a Whole Foods or something. Whatever
Right,
he
yeah.
did before being a cop.
Saving money to go to police school. Not police school. Get his like criminal science
Police
degree.
Academy.
Police Academy. There you go.
Police Academy.
Yeah.
Before we dive into today's topic, people should know a little bit more about us and our personal experiences with the franchise, so they know where we are before we start this journey, because I haven't played most of them.
Same. I've played the middle chunk.
I have
which
played
ones is-
lots of them.
What's the middle chunk, Tyler?
So I've seen all the movies for sure. I've seen all the movies multiple times.
That's all you really need to do. Screw the games, dude.
No.
But I played. I had Resident Evil 1 on the PlayStation when I was a child.
The PS1.
It scared the shit out of me and my brothers. I worked up the courage to play it, not right away because I was really little. And then I didn't really play any more Resident Evil until 3 came out on the GameCube. or the PlayStation 2. I don't remember which one I had it on.
You see, we're going to
Well,
learn these.
GameCube, actually, it did come out on the GameCube.
We're learning these things together, folks.
yeah.
But
yeah.
then-
I mean, it initially came out on the PlayStation, but it did get released on the
And
GameCube.
if you have a sealed copy of that, it's probably worth a hefty chunk of change.
Yes, it is, actually. And send it to me, please. I'll give you my P.O. box.
3, 4, 5, 6, and then I've missed a couple of the newer ones.
There's a lot of side games.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was one that came out after 5. Like,
Chronicles, something or other.
yeah, I was really disappointed. I thought it was going to be like the next big entry.
Revelations, maybe.
Yeah, I think it was.
Maybe it was Revelations.
Or
yeah.
Tactics. It might have been Tactics.
There was
There
a
was no
Resident
Tactics.
Evil Tactics.
My God, if there was, though.
Isn't it the new mobile game?
Code. Don't even want to talk about it.
I don't remember what it was.
Code Veronica?
No, I don't think it was that.
You're talking after 5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't worry, I made there's a fucking outline I did of all the games that came out, and there's a way more than anyone realizes. Mm-hmm. There's a TV show, there's movies, there's another movie, there's animated
I have
movies.
to watch the TV show.
We do have to watch the TV show. Unfortunately.
I watched a good chunk of it. It's not great.
I know. I've heard.
But so you have a fair amount of experience with like the middle chunk. You played like 7 and 8 or no?
I don't think so.
Whoa.
I haven't
worry.
played. I know I haven't played 8. I might have played 7. 7's Village. Which one's Village?
Village is 8, yeah.
I haven't played 8.
You're in for a treat. Spoiler warning: Resident Evil 8 is my favorite of the franchise.
Resident Evil 2 is my favorite.
Resident Evil 4 is my favorite.
Okay.
Okay, is it 4 or 4 remake?
I'd say remake now.
Yeah.
But until before that, it was 4. So it's,
I have that same thing too because it's like remake. The second remake is really good, but I also have a strong nostalgic affinity to the original.
And the original does have differences. Like the campaigns are a little more interconnected, whereas
You have like technically 4 campaigns in that game.
and like A, Leon, and B, Claire
Yep.
is much more substantial in the PS1 than on the later ones.
Yeah.
Stoy, I think you probably have played the most of these games.
Yeah, I'm gonna wager I have. It's from what it
I would
sounds like.
bet money on it.
Yeah,
Safe bet.
I think when I played I played the very first Resident Evil when it came out, and I think at the time no one expected anything like that at the time. Like we had horror games, but not to that effect, and that I was hooked.
Yeah.
I was like, I have to keep going with this series, and Resident Evil 2 came out and just blew the doors off, and we had a franchise, boys. You know.
So I'm guessing you played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
7,
8.
8, yeah.
You played
All the
Revelations,
side-
I'm guessing.
All the side content, all the side stories. You got
Outbreaks?
Yeah, I played Outbreak 1 and 2.
Can you play Outbreak couch co-op or local area network? Or is it only
Local area network.
the LAN?
So you'd have to, hook up a bunch of PS2s.
That sounds tedious. You have to also get the network adapters,
Yes.
right?
And
That's where I used to keep
you have to-
I kept my weed back in there back in the day.
Yeah,
That's like- I did keep
Dude,
my weed in
everybody
there.
kept their weed back there. That was a perfect stash.
Parents had no idea.
My dummies.
Yeah, no idea.
Also, the GameCube one was where I also kept things too.
Yeah, because that was supposed to be the GameCube adapter attachment for the Game Boy Advance player, right?
Well, I was talking about the network adapter, which essentially
Oh, yeah.
was used for Phantasy Star Online or Mario Kart Double Dash 16 player.
Oh,
or
yeah.
your weed.
Or
weed.
Or, yes, your favorite game.
Thank you, Sony, Nintendo.
So, Stoy, you have the most experience.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Like I said, there's the series has gone through its ups and downs, and I've been there throughout all of it. And there's some like underrated hidden gems. I know not a lot of people, like for example, Operation Raccoon City. Not a lot of people like the game, but I liked what it tried to do.
Isn't that? Welcome to Raccoon City is the movie. Okay, Operation Raccoon City.
Operation Raccoon City was the guys that made SOCOM.
Did you play Deadly Silence?
Yes.
He's fucking played everything.
This guy's good.
Yeah.
This guy's good.
Yeah. I played Raccoon City. No, what was the one? Umbrella Corps. I played that for a time. I paid money for that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I did. I'm never getting that money back.
Did that one come out after 5?
No, that one came. Oh, yeah, it did actually. It came out for PS4 and was supposed to be this like kind of like, close quarters arena based shooter type thing or extraction shooter. It was extraction shooters before that was a thing. And it did not do well. It did not do well. It was so basic. Like, it was like a cell phone game. It should have been a cell phone game, honestly.
There's a lot of mobile games we'll be discussing too.
I can't wait.
And they won't get their own episodes. Everyone, you're on this journey with us, and you'll discover more about it as we go along. If you are on our Patreon, which is patreon.com/hairofthedogcast.
Please join.
The name of our network of shows. If you're on our Patreon, you'll be getting... you'll get access, anyways, to Zombie Dogs episodes every 2 weeks. The main feed will be getting them once a month. Unless I'm feeling sassy or saucy, it might be a bonus one here or there. But that's just if people are being sweet. If we get enough comments, enough likes and reviews, I will release an extra one a little bit earlier. So, little incentive for you. Resident Evil is pretty cool. Yes, I didn't really say what my experience is. I don't think I played 1 back in the day. 2 and 3 were in our household. I probably watched my brother play them more than I did. I got a GameCube strictly for Resident Evil 1 Remake. And I remember our tool shed was like a converted like rec room. We still call it the tool shed, but I remember getting this game and just being out there by myself, like at midnight.
That's terrifying, man.
On my fucking little rocking chair.
Dude.
You know those little rockers you used to get?
Oh, the ones that sit on the ground?
Yep.
Like rock, yeah.
And for some reason, I never played 4 on the GameCube, never played 0. Never played 5, 6, but 7, 8, very much so. And
4 was an interesting game when it came out because it changed the formula.
Yeah.
And it divided the fan base to the point where it was like, you either loved it or you just hated it. Hated it for what it did. I mean, I loved it for what it did. It took me a little bit to get used to it, but that's where Resident Evil changed, really.
And it's changed many, many times.
Yep.
And I believe I have seen all the Mila Jovovich and the other movie, but I haven't seen any of the animated stuff. And I guess the most
animated
crucial
stuff is actually really good.
The crucial part of knowledge about me is I had all of the S.D. Perry novels and I've read them all.
Oh, okay.
Hell yeah.
I think I did a book report on one of them. Very nerdy. So...
we all did book reports before, so...
today's topic is the catalyst for this series. Everything leading up to the first game. Wanted to dive a little bit more into how it came about. Now, we're not going to talk about what a video game is, what a horror game is. A lot of these things you probably are aware of. But the first important event in this is a movie got made in Japan. It came out in 1989, directed by Kiyoshi Kitasawa and produced by Juzo Itami, called Sweet Home. The plot is a small film visits the old abandoned mansion of famous artist Ichiro Mamiya, who left several precious frescoes inside his house. The team wants to restore and publish these paintings and film a documentary about Mamiya and his arts.
What is a fresco?
It's a painting.
Like a large painting on a wall, I would guess.
prefer it's more fun if he just left fresco.
soda.
There was just a shit ton of
Just
fresco.
looking for a bunch of fresca in this old mansion.
He's got the rare Dorito-flavored frescas in here somewhere.
We must find it.
We must find it. I don't care if it's haunted.
I will get it and I will drink it.
Raspberry flavored. I don't want it.
I love that it's a film crew going to a haunted house. That's like
Oh, it's a film crew that
it's
goes.
a film crew, a
Hell
documentary crew,
Yeah.
which is straight up some like Resident Evil 7 stuff that they would revisit later, having like a crew with a camera going there.
What was the haunted house gators or something like that? What was that? What were they called? Oh, we'll get there.
But
We talked about Resident Evil 7.
This movie is fully available on YouTube. I did not have a chance to watch the full movie. The trailer I've watched like several times, and
The trailer fucks.
it fucks
Yeah,
hard.
it does. It really does.
It's the kind of trailer that doesn't say what is like. It doesn't give the plot away. It's just like someone said, "Is this Japanese 9-inch nails?" And it's just like crazy imagery. But Stoy, you watched the movie.
Yeah, I watched it last night. I was like, "Oh, look, you can watch the full movie on YouTube." And I started watching the first like 10, 15 minutes, and it intrigued me so much. I was like, "I'm just gonna keep watching it." Hour and 42 minutes long. I mean, if you include the credits. I really, honestly, I think it's worth a watch. I think for a movie made in 1989, I think it stands up pretty well for tension, the practical effects.
Yeah.
I mean, just some of the body horror stuff and even like the special effects. Like there was one scene I can't wait till we talk about that just was like, I mean, it made me uncomfortable, made me cringe.
Well, it's that's that good era of cinema when things were practical. And
Yeah,
if you wanted
no
half
CGI, nothing like that.
if you want half a body crawling at someone,
You got to find a half man.
you got to figure
Exactly.
it out, or you got to have like the floor sunk in or something like that.
Yeah, that was the scene.
Well, it's cool that it's on YouTube because it was not released outside of Japan. Like,
And it's
Some sort of,
English
it's some sort of
subtitles.
copyright thing. Like for some reason, it's legal to have it fully on YouTube. So
they're like, should we give it
watch
to the Americans? And they were like, they can't handle it.
They can't. They
can't
honestly,
handle it.
1989 America probably couldn't have handled this.
I know. I was just born the year before, and they were going through a lot over here about that.
Yeah.
Was it George Bush then? Was that George Bush Sr.?
I think that was Clinton at the time. Maybe Clinton just got in office or something like that.
I don't know.
Maybe I don't.
This is not President Dogs. We are not the people there.
I was
Tune
trying
into
to-
President
I was trying to
Dogs.
get to a joke about Ronald Reagan, and I just couldn't connect the dots. But that was the groundwork.
America is the living dead right now. What scene did
We're
you
all
want to
just
mention?
making it.
Because we're not going to talk about the entire plot. They go in there, and then the Mamiya's wife is fucking haunting them, and then shit goes tits up, as they say in Australia.
It's a sad story. Like
Are you gonna cry? Oh my!
It is a sad story. She loses her child, her only child, in a freaking boiler.
In a boiler?
Literally, that's the story.
He was playing in the boiler.
He was just playing by the furnace, and all of a sudden just ended up inside the furnace.
It's not that weird. When I was a child, I used to play in the crock pot all the time.
Yeah, we all did.
Yeah.
But none of us burned and died as a result of it.
I was taking a bath in the crock pot, and someone turned the oven on. How could this have happened?
That did kind of make me chuckle a little bit, where it's like, you had the old brittle, gardener that was like, telling the story like 30 years ago, this happened. And the kid played near the furnace and burned up and died. Like, what? That's how he died.
Say again?
So the mom, riddled with grief, decided to kidnap all the kids in the village and throw them in the furnace as well.
That makes sense.
That's potato,
Here,
tomato. There's a saying.
You want to know why?
So it
To
wouldn't
make
be
sure
lonely.
that his kids wouldn't be lonely.
Yeah, that makes see, clearly I'll be a horrible monster parent. My first thought is, yeah, it makes sense.
It makes sense.
Take the other kids.
My kid needs friends in hell.
Yes, exactly. So here's some more. There you go.
And I probably some good deaths.
Yeah.
So as this movie was coming out, a video game was being developed at the same time for the Famicom. It was released December 15th, 1989. This was developed by Capcom and directed by Tokuro Fujiwara. This name will be brought up more. Sometimes credited as Professor F or Arthur King, depending on the game. He is the director of Ghosts and Goblins and Bionic Commando, amongst others.
Big guy at Capcom, it sounds like.
Producer of Mega Man 2, DuckTales, Adventures in the Magic Kingdom, and Little Nemo. In other words, this guy fucks.
Oh, this guy fucks.
Yes. Worked as general manager of the Capcom Consoles Games Division from 88 to 96. Cool guy. And he directed Sweet Home. Sweet Home, the game. So he was able to visit the set and talk to the director. And the director's like, this is what we're doing. Take the game and you can do something else with it. If you want to change the story, that's fine. Like, I don't want it to be strictly the same thing. So you have some carte blanche to do whatever you want. And Fujiwara had primarily been working on arcade games. This is one of his first console projects. And film director Kurosawa was producer and supervisor as well. But it's an RPG. It's a turn-based RPG.
It looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like how it said you could have 3 players in the party, and they all have a different item that they can only they can use. I like that kind of mechanic.
And you can swap between the parties.
That's
and,
cool.
Yeah. So there's 5 characters. One is like a lighter. One is a vacuum. They have different abilities. And characters can die permanently.
Yeah.
If they do, you're able to find different items to replace those things. I like permadeath with a party system like that. That's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in the movie, a lot of the characters, spoiler alert, a lot of the characters do die. So
They better.
Yeah. It would be interesting to have that mechanic in the game if you could prevent it.
Yeah, turn-based random battles. Pretty wild.
I mean, would you call this survival horror, I guess, at this time?
There are quick time events where it's like a chandelier's falling.
Yeah.
And it's like, duck right, duck left, don't move.
Yeah. You don't even know what's happening half the time, at least I saw in some of the trailers.
And it's survival horror in that you're trying to solve a mystery, escape somewhere, and you do have limited resources. I don't know how much like healing you can do, but
Well, what, the one character had the remedy potion the whole time?
One has a remedy, yeah. But it's you can see the DNA for Resident Evil here. Like every time you enter a room, there is the door scene sequence, which is famous in Resident Evil now. We mentioned that characters can die. Items will be found by their corpse. There's a lot of puzzle solving. There's inventory management, which is critical to the Resident Evil franchise.
Yeah, every character has like a specific amount of things that they can hold. So like depending on what you pick up, you can like give it to that character or this character or whatever.
As someone who just played the PlayStation 1 Resident Evil, I have thoughts on inventory management again.
I love it when it works. It's a cool concept for a game that makes me like really feel like I'm using shit. Plus,
and Resident Evil, it doesn't work.
But it works better in. We're not going to get too much into the first game, but
I like Resident Evil's inventory management because I actually use stuff. When it's like Skyrim and I have 97 cheese wheels and I'm like, I will use those at some point.
It's like, ooh,
now you're encumbered.
You cannot carry 50 Daedric armors. Now you're over encumbered. Like, I'll just do 49.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you have limited space for stuff, you only take what's necessary and you end up using it a lot more often.
It is, it's an exciting aspect of the game. Just like, all right.
It adds realism.
It's like you're making a run from here to there.
Yeah.
How many bullets can I bring?
Yeah. It adds realism and practicality to it because no human being can carry 96 cheese wheels in their pockets.
I have a challenge then.
Okay. All right.
I'm in.
All right. Stay tuned for next week's episode.
Yes. At times, you must backtrack to solve puzzles with items acquired later in the game. Enemies are encountered randomly, and you fight with the menu-based combat. Story told through cutscenes. 5 different endings.
Damn.
Wow. That's
It's an ambitious
a lot,
game
yeah.
for 1989.
For Nintendo, no less? Or Famicom?
And never came to America.
That's too bad.
But
I think the whole thing why it didn't come to America was Nintendo of America. They had that kind of like family image. This is not a family game.
Yeah, fuck family images.
Yeah, exactly. This is not a family game. This is not something you can play with your kids.
Yeah, and I guess part of it's also the movie didn't come over this way, so that might have been a weirder sell. They'd almost have to rename it to something else. Mm-hmm. But game didn't do well in Japan. It has since, I would say, received a cult following. People know that it's like the originator of Resident Evil, so people are curious at least. And there's good fan translations out there now.
Yeah, I mean, admittedly, it's not surprising that it just didn't do well. It was so far from the norm at the time for what a game was. You know, it tried to do something too unique, and yeah, it gets its cult following, especially even years later. Like, you know, the games that we're used to right now, we can play that game, and it's like, oh yeah, I can totally see the DNA and what they were trying to do with this game. But
yeah, but it was a horror game, a survival horror game RPG that came out, and Fujiwara, it was always in the back of his mind as something that he thought could do more justice to. Born August 11th, 1965, we have Shinji Mikami.
That's a name I think I recognize.
the master,
Yes, the maestro.
the man, the myth, the legend.
The creator. Mikami grew up on the Yamaguchi prefecture of Honshu Island, raised on action films, big fan of Bruce Lee.
That explains his time at Platinum Games.
We are going to discuss horrible things about his childhood. His father, who had to enter the workforce early and drop out of high school to support his family, beat him daily. Mikami has said, I remember one night when I went to bed without doing my homework, my dad kicked me out of bed in the middle of the night and told me to go outside. So I did in my pajamas without my shoes on. He made me stand in front of the car, then he chased me around, making me run around 5 or 6 kilometers, all the way to the seashore by our house. Once we hit the coast, he just drove off and had to walk home in his pajamas as like a child. So definitely someone that is familiar with like horror and family
In survival.
horror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Horrible stuff. And then my next point, beyond family life, it was a normal childhood. That sounds horrifying.
I mean, the fact that you can come out of that and have a normal childhood, I guess.
I guess that just probably means school was fine. He liked things.
Yeah.
Without video games, but full of outdoor play. He has said back in those days, kids had to be somewhat creative in coming up with games to play because there wasn't much else to occupy your free time. That is different these days.
Yeah, kids are kind of
They have
spoiled
content.
with
Yeah.
their content. That I remember running around backyards with sticks and stuff, pretending they were like the same stick could be a laser weapon, or it could be a sword, or it could be a bow and arrow, it could be a wand, a dildo.
Yeah.
They're very popular these days.
They
Dildos?
are everywhere.
They're flying.
Dildos are everywhere?
Yeah.
That's sporting events.
Oh, yeah.
How the fuck do you get a dildo? Never mind. How do you get one in? Like, not in,
Well,
but
it's
like
not like,
in the
it's
arena.
not like they
How do
search
you-
you at the gate.
How do you think they get them in, Tyler? You're a grown up.
Oh, no.
Shove
Moving on.
Shove them right up there.
His dream career was to be a Formula One driver.
Oh.
Still one of your other passions, racing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think everybody grows up to be, to want to be a race car driver. Or at least every boy.
Resident Evil Kart. Would you play that?
Yeah, hell yeah, I would play that. I'm surprised they haven't come up with that yet.
Mr. X would be a racer. Wesker. You'd have all the main ones.
Yeah, exactly.
I think
Ada Wong.
just zombie.
Yeah.
Yeah, good zombie.
We'd have to throw Daisy in there just for the shit of it.
And then they put a Cerberus in there, and you'd be like, "This does dope.
this
This is bad.
yeah.
This doesn't
How
make
can
sense."
how can he drive with those claws?
Yeah. He's just dog. He can't drive.
Yeah, right. What the hell? Can't
After-
even see. He's got one good eye.
In his adolescence, Mikami became obsessed with horror films such as The Texas Chainsaw Massacre and The Evil Dead. Another hobby was the study of karate and kendo. After failing entrance exams 2 years straight, Mikami enrolled into and graduated from Doshisha University, where he majored in the study of merchandise. And it's funny how that's all of the experience you need before a company like Capcom, like, yeah, you're in, dude.
I mean,
you, dude.
it's not like there was any video game schools or universities at that time.
But there is like computer schools.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
1990, Mikami joined Capcom. This is a quote of his. A friend of mine found a flyer advertising some kind of job fair / buffet party Capcom was holding at the Hilton.
Dude,
Could you imagine?
Do you get a continental breakfast?
I'm there just for the breakfast.
You show up to get
You get a job interview at the same time.
You show up for pancakes and you accidentally make Mega Man. Like,
Actually, I did go to a job fair once in college, and they did have like a buffet of sorts. So it's really not that odd.
Did you make a video game after that?
No, I didn't get a job either.
Chump.
damn, dude.
Damn.
Yeah, I didn't take it very seriously. I showed up and people were like dressed up and professional, and my resume was like, I had like 2 of them, and it was folded in my pocket. And I was wearing jeans. My parents were not psyched that I was like, I didn't expect it to be like real life.
Well, when you hear buffet,
That was they didn't advertise that. That was just lucky.
That's just okay.
I showed up.
Yeah, that's how they bring the people.
It was
in.
cold food though. It wasn't like hot food. It wasn't like a good buffet.
Oh,
Continental breakfast is bullshit.
so no wings?
No wings.
Nah.
There was like a turkey sandwich.
You know what? You lucked out, sir. You lucked out.
I did. I'm just fine now.
Yeah, you're doing all right.
I went mainly because I wanted to eat at the Hilton for free. But once
Every good story starts with that.
But once I started talking to Capcom people, really getting in depth about the work they do, I thought it sounded pretty neat. That's pretty neat.
That's pretty neat. How neat is that?
So I applied to both Capcom and Nintendo. And it turned out the second round of interviews for both companies were held on the same day, and I chose Capcom.
Damn.
That's an interesting one.
Wow. Imagine that if he'd have chose Nintendo. Imagine that.
I don't know if he would have flourished.
I don't know. I don't think he would
But
have
probably
lasted.
never would have heard his name.
Yep.
From Nintendo R&D.
Yeah.
Not people, but a company.
Or maybe Luigi's Mansion would have been a little spookier.
Would have fucked, dude.
It would've- yeah. If he wouldn't have had a vacuum, he would have had like
Instead of the
dual wielding pistols.
Instead of Spencer Mansion, it'd be Luigi's Mansion.
Yep.
Yes.
Can you imagine a jacked up Luigi? Just like
Punching a boulder.
Yeah, punching a boulder just with like 2 pistols. Dude,
That would be pretty dope.
that would be.
We almost had a Goomba sandwich. Mikami and fellow new hires were sent to a warehouse and ordered to think hard about game design.
I love the Japanese culture.
Your assignment today, think hard about game design.
And we will open this door when you thought hard enough.
They were left unsupervised for the entire day. That's an interesting. It's also like a good.
Team building.
It's team building. It's a task. Like you come back 8 hours later. Like what did you think about? And you better have something.
I mean, every idea starts somewhere, right?
A lot of game design is you left like kind of unchecked for long periods, so you need to be able to handle yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were like, we got a great idea for a game. It's going to be a horror game. Also, Jeff pissed his pants. Really should put a bathroom in here.
Really should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeff didn't pay
There's
attention.
rats in this warehouse too.
Jeff's
by the
not
way.
going to make the cut.
No. What the fuck, guys?
You said there would be a buffet in here.
I thought it was everyday buffet. Yeah. After a few months of doing just that, he was suddenly placed on a team and given a leadership position despite knowing nothing about game development. I love the old days like
Dude,
that.
you just fake it till you make it, baby.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how I ended up running a kitchen at one point.
Yeah, I forget you were cook.
Yeah.
You just were extremely
Probably
good
should've.
at like sounding like you knew what you were talking about.
Yeah, Brad was there witnessing it firsthand.
Yeah.
I'm an electrician, man. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah, you fake it till you make it.
Yeah. But I work in healthcare. I'm the same way. God, am I going to kill this guy?
You know what's scary is I don't know what I'm doing, but I know more than a lot of people there that are doing other things.
Yeah. That gives you some solace.
Yeah. His first title at Capcom was a quiz game released for the Game Boy named Capcom Quiz Hatane no Daiboken, which took over 3 months for it to be developed. He later worked on Disney licensed games, including Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Aladdin, and Goof Troop.
Which Aladdin?
The Genesis
The
one.
Genesis version. I knew it.
The lesser.
I knew it.
The lesser
No, that's
version.
the better one. Come on. Super Nintendo one was bad.
The face you made had some disdain on it. I
No.
thought you were going to say you hated it.
But the
No,
one,
the
which one is more beloved?
The Genesis one.
Oh, then he did the less beloved one.
No, what?
He did the less beloved one.
How
the
did he
Super
do the
Nintendo.
less? No, he did the Super Nintendo one.
He did the less
Shinji.
beloved one because
Come
the one
on.
made by Americans was more regarded. And he's like, I agree, that was a better game.
Okay, yeah, the Genesis one was arguably the better one. The Super Nintendo one was kind of
It's wild
it
that
was
they
just
just
bad.
it's wild they just made two different games completely.
those were the days.
Yeah.
Those were the days when like multi-platform games, and they were totally different games. It's wild.
And Goof
What a time
Troop
to be alive.
and an F1 racing game named Super Lap, which was canceled 8 months into development.
Oh,
Stories about him as a director, a leader, is he was pretty unrealistic. He would just make demands like, this needs to look better, this is not up to par, and it couldn't at the time. And he has since said, like, yeah, I was probably way out of line.
yeah, I probably effed that one up, guys.
My bad.
if you don't polish this up and make it perfect, by the end of the day, you're going back to the warehouse.
Yeah.
Think about what you did.
Think about this. I'm going to check in a month.
And while you're down there, make sure Jeff's still okay.
Poor Jeff.
Poor guy. He's dead.
Aladdin was his first hit, though, selling 1.75 million units worldwide. Probably on the back of the movie. Let's be honest.
well,
People
yeah, let's
didn't
be
know
honest,
if the
yeah.
game was
Robin
good.
Williams did the heavy lifting.
100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the reason
And
anybody
DJ
played it.
Tanner's boyfriend who voiced Aladdin.
That's who. Oh,
That
damn,
was
really?
DJ Tanner's
Yeah.
boyfriend. Yeah.
Yep.
Who voiced?
And then Gilbert Gottfried was
Godfrey.
Iago.
Yeah.
Yep.
I knew there was an annoying voice in there.
What? I can't do it. Mikami learned by observing his
Look at
seniors.
me, I'm molting.
He found his environment comfortable since it engendered independence and freedom of thought. To Mikami, the art of game making was instilled in him by Takoro Fujiwara. 1993, Capcom's Takoro Fujiwara told Shinji Mikami and other co-workers to create a game using elements from Fujiwara's 1989 Sweet Home on the Famicom. Early on, the game was intended to be a remake of Sweet Home before they realized they wanted to do something a little different.
I really want to know when they decided that. I mean, I'd be kind of curious because you could see the DNA, the initial DNA with the mansion and the.
Yeah.
But at what point did they be like, okay, all right, there's this pharmaceutical company?
Well, I think early on, Mikami, one of the main things that he wanted with the game right away was he didn't like supernatural. He wanted something physical, tangible that you had to be afraid of. And ghosts, you know, what are the rules for ghosts? You don't know.
You
but
can
a
really
zombie,
make it up, yeah.
A zombie, you know what's going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. And a virus, like a scientifically made virus, yeah.
And then this guy, he never takes his sunglasses off. That's just something he doesn't do.
It's badass.
It's cool, you know?
Leave him alone.
Jill
He's
Sandwich.
self-conscious about his eyebrows.
Right, yeah. And
Isn't it
his
because he has
eyeballs.
like snake eyeballs or something?
Maybe he does.
Something like that.
We don't know.
We'll find out.
That's okay.
Fujiwara explained that they only needed to make sales of around 150,000 copies. It's more important that Capcom expanded their horizons, which that's the greatest thing ever. It's like, I need you to do something. It can suck.
But, we just need to get the ball rolling.
We just want to try some stuff.
Yeah.
That's awesome to be in that position. Because then, like, that really takes the pressure of, like, this thing's got to fucking hit, or I might lose my job, or I'm not going to be able to do the creative thing I want to do next.
Yeah.
That's where you could take risks.
Yeah. That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah. First 6 months, Mikami worked alone in a warehouse. Occasionally, he would see Jeff.
Oh, poor Jeff.
My name is Jeff.
Jeff walks in like, not again, Jeff. What'd you do? Like, 8 more hours.
No one has told me what to do since my first day, and I've been sitting here thinking about game development.
Yeah.
They're going to find Jeff in 30 years, and he's
They got to
ready
hire a guy just to poke Jeff every half hour to make sure he's still alive.
Like, Jeff, we're not on the Nintendo anymore, dude. Things have changed.
Yeah.
What?
I can leave? Yeah, man. Door's right there.
Yeah, Jeff came out of that warehouse and made Expedition 33. It was the first game he ever made.
Just dropped.
And that guy, once he left the warehouse, he made Expedition 33.
Mikami worked alone to come up with a clear picture of the direction he wanted the project to take. In those days, the publisher would require a full storyline before launching the development phase. That's stupid. But I guess it's very James Gunn of them in a way, too. Like, we just want to know you know what the story is before we can greenlight stuff. Because of this, Mikami set the game in a haunted mansion and had loose ideas of a beginning, middle, and end. Members of an elite unit are trapped inside a mansion with genetically modified monsters. Mikami chose zombies over the supernatural elements due to wanting danger to be clear and defined. And he also said he wanted to make it like a horror film. And when you watch a horror film, you're watching it and you're frustrated that the characters are doing stupid things. He wanted to give you the opportunity to react just as you would, unlike stupid protagonists in movies.
I appreciate that.
I appreciate that. You're not insulting your viewer.
So when I don't know how to run in a straight line around a zombie because I'm using tank controls, that's not me being a stupid protagonist in a movie. That's just me not knowing how to use a controller anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I shoot at a zombie 7 times and I miss it.
You're missing every time. The days of no auto aim.
Yeah. The development, a team of around 20 people were assembled to work in this project for a whole year. It's a first-person shooter.
Oh, wow.
That would have, okay.
Would have been a very different game. Shinji Mikami, originally they wanted to do it in 3D because the number of 3D elements that could be shown on the PS1, he was skeptical. So he thought that if it was a first-person shooter, there would be one less character on the screen.
I mean, first-person shooters, it was the style at the time.
We just needed to display the backgrounds and enemies. And then I played Alone in the Dark, which had fixed backgrounds.
Ooh.
He denied this for a long time. When people were like, oh, this is a lot like Alone in the Dark. And he's like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I have no recollection. I do not recall.
I cannot confirm nor deny these allegations.
You think that was kind of like corporate speak? Like, didn't want to give credit to...
There was an agreement between them and the Alone in the Dark people. Like, they wouldn't talk about it.
Okay, all right. I mean, the signs were there.
It's very when you watch a little bit of footage of Alone in the Dark, it's apparent. Mm-hmm. That game came out in 1992, developed by Infogram, released on PC. Some consider it the very first survival horror game, but everyone who wants to make those claims is trying to get into a fight because who cares?
I mean, I agree. I mean,
I consider Pac-Man is the first survival horror game.
I mean, every video game is a survival horror game when you think about it. Frogger, yeah.
Frogger is terrifying.
Yeah. In many ways, Go is the first open world game.
I still love that we do that.
That's a deep cut of Tyler.
I'll ask about that later.
Well, we were doing the history of open world games on the Dogcast, and
I purposely found like the most outlandish claim that I could use to start my overview.
Okay.
And it was the game Go as the first open world game.
Okay.
The person who
me and Dylan were very excited that day.
Yeah.
You were cooking on something, dude. Yes, Alone in the Dark, adventure game first and foremost with a stronger focus on puzzles. The game did have zombies, but they could easily be avoided. And characters were full 3D, but the backgrounds were pre-rendered. Camera placement was utilized to induce stress. Mikami saw this and he's like, yeah, I kind of fucked up these last 6 months.
The fixed camera was the main reason I didn't play this game for as long as I did because it frustrated the hell out of me as a kid.
That was a control scheme that no one knew how to navigate. Like even my friend had a PC. I played this for like 10 minutes and I was like, this is frustrating. I can't play this crap. Like, how do you move?
As someone who recently played through Resident Evil 1 Director's Cut, the camera didn't bother me at all. Mm-hmm. The tank controls took a little bit, but even then,
Yeah.
you adjust quick. You're smart. We have gamer brains.
Yeah, well, I mean, I got the hang of it as I got older, but it was definitely a learning curve
Oh,
for
yeah,
me when
we're
I
talking
first
about back in the
started.
day.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was so confused.
Yeah, and but it also adds to the terrifying nature of the game. So yes,
The camera angles in that game were like really good. Like it gave you a sense of scale of the area that you're in.
Resident Evil 1 or Alone in the Dark?
Alone in the Dark.
Yeah.
Alone in the Dark, I mean, Resident Evil had practical camera angles, whereas I think Alone in the Dark, you know, when I was watching gameplay footage just recently, I was like, they were really trying to be like, you know, kind of like, you know, wonky angle, trying to give you like a sense of like terror by like, you know, making you feel in this, you know, claustrophobic, but like in this long hallway.
It's got an odd thing where it's not first person or third person. It's like I forget the term. It's a different person because you can't see what the character can see at points because the angle will prevent you from seeing a zombie down the hall when Jill could clearly see that there was a zombie down the hall.
Yeah.
It's like I forget the term.
It's like a
for
form
that.
of dramatic irony. Is that where the character knows something that the audience doesn't, or the audience knows something the character doesn't?
It's fucked either way.
Yeah, it's one of the ironies.
Yeah, you're the popcorn dogs guy. You should know this stuff.
It's been a long time since film school.
Yeah.
Mikami would admit, had it not been for Alone in the Dark, Resident Evil would probably have ended up as a first-person shooter.
So wait, how long did he sit on that before he admitted it?
like over 14 years.
Wow.
Okay, wow.
That's a long time.
But there was an agreement that he wasn't supposed to talk about it. So, a man of his word.
I mean, we all knew it, Shinji. We all knew it.
Yes, but of course there was a change in what they wanted to do. So he said after all of that work that the first-person style was no longer going to work. We must start over from scratch.
Oof.
And the programmers then demanded a brand new project manager and threatened to stop working altogether. They were tired of this tyrant. And then they said tyrant, and he said, wait a sec. That didn't happen, but
I would have believed it, though.
like how Dewey Cox writes music. Don't leave me, Edith. It's not a bad name. Yes, the programmers were demanding a new project manager, but Fujiwara's like, let him cook. Mm-hmm. Let the boy watch.
You could say he felt it in his plums.
Yes.
That a good game was coming.
Feel it down on my plum. Something's going on here. Let the boy cook. The loading times for the game were driving Mikami insane, and this was his inspiration for using the door animations that were featured in Sweet Home. A great way to mask the loading.
Really?
The pre-rendered backgrounds. It's interesting how they did stick with that idea for so long because the remake, same concept, and they look phenomenal.
Yeah. Fully animated.
It was
for the most part.
They could really push the PS1's limits.
Yeah.
I remember booting this up for the first time ever, and that opening cutscene was jaw-dropping. I had never seen graphics like that in a game because I was coming from the N64 to the PlayStation 1.
Are you talking about
Resident Evil 1.
not the film,
The director's cut?
sequence,
No.
though?
Or the, yeah.
Because I've
PS1
never
version.
seen filmmaking like that either.
Yeah.
When you boot up the game on the PlayStation 1, that first cutscene threw me for a loop. Never seen anything like that.
Yeah.
And then to have 3D characters,
Jill, what are you doing?
I was like, holy shit, they're in my living
Stop
room.
it. Don't open that door.
Take care.
Yeah.
I don't need any help. I have this.
So many quotable lines. I can't believe, like, the meeting the original
Voice actors.
full motion video actors of Chris Redfield and Barry Burton from that time. Like, it's wild that how they had no idea. They had no idea what they did for years.
Was it? They filmed it in Japan?
Yeah, they filmed it in Japan. Barry Burton was an English teacher in Japan, and
They were cast specifically not for acting abilities because they looked like the character.
literally Barry Burton. The guy Barry Burton told the story where he walked out of a restaurant and some guy in the street pointed to him and he said, "That's the guy. That's the guy. Do you want to act in a short film?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure. Wow,
I'm sure he said no, and they're like, "We will pay you," and he's like, "Yes."
Probably, yeah. I don't know what they paid him. I don't think he really said, but it's literally walking out of a restaurant. Some guy in the street was like, that's the guy. That's Barry Burton.
And it became a big quest to kind of find them all.
Yeah, and he was like a kindergarten teacher in Australia, and I think one of the kids' parents said, "You look like this guy from this video," and sure enough, he's like, "Wait, that's me." Wild.
Yeah.
Wild.
At some point, they must have realized when Resident Evil was getting big, like, is that Biohazard?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Because I don't think they were told at the time like what they were acting in. It was just maybe like, I mean, the fact that you're acting to be in a video game was still foreign at the time.
Yeah, and it was called Biohazard, so maybe when Resident Evil became the thing, it just like...
It was Biohazard in Japan, Resident Evil everywhere else, yeah.
Yeah. The tank controls, or like more natural real-time controls, they were both tried in pre-release builds, but they decided tank controls was scarier, and it is.
Yeah, it is.
It is a choice.
Yeah.
I hate it.
I don't mind it. I actually didn't mind it getting back into it. The game would have to be rebalanced without it.
That is a fair point, yes.
Because I know with at least RE1 Remake, remastered edition, they have modern control, analog controls with it now.
Yeah.
And people say you can just run laps around the zombies.
Mm-hmm. It's like a cheat code.
Yeah. So, I mean, the whole game would need rebalancing or something like that. I don't know. The first game, it really becomes this strange, like, point-and-click adventure, inventory management sim. And at least with the director's cut, you had auto-aim. So you didn't have to worry about aiming.
That also was the cheat code.
Well, that was the original Japanese release.
Yeah, what really was
the one
it?
that made it to America. The original one didn't have it because they wanted to avoid rental. They wanted to avoid people renting the game and beating it, so they had to make it more difficult.
I mean, when you think about
Oh,
it,
wow.
if you sped run the first Resident Evil, you can beat it in an hour and a half to 2 hours.
I like that you went. I like that you went sped run. See, I would go speed ran, but I don't know if
ran,
anyone
sped
knows
run.
the correct conjugations of speed running.
I always say speed run. If you speed run,
But you know, if you're talking about speed running in the past tense,
sped ran.
sped
ran.
Hey, everybody in the chat,
If you sped
tell
ran.
us what you think it is.
I used to host a speedrunning podcast. I don't even know.
Did you call it the sped runners?
It was Need for Speed Running.
The need for speed running? Oh,
Check it out. Still kicking. Those guys are great.
okay.
I just at some point had to realize I'm Jeff. I don't know what we're doing yet.
Oh, poor Jeff.
Yeah. Scrapped ideas. They wanted to do a co-op system, but that never was able to work that far. They wanted an AI controlled character.
Oh, that would have been,
That's barely doable today.
yeah.
Yeah.
They named him Jeff, and it's this fucker that couldn't do anything.
Keeps dying all the time.
You'd have to give him your ammo. He'd waste it all. It was just a horrible waste of time.
Yeah.
The title, Biohazard, was the name selected in Japan. This was unable to be used in North America due to a metal band called Biohazard.
I mean, that was a metal band.
Are they good?
Yeah, actually, they were. Like, they were pretty big at that time. But I'm surprised that they really wanted to avoid that. It's interesting. They're like kind of like a thrash metal band.
Biohazard's a good name.
Yeah, it's a good name.
I
yeah.
like it. I
don't think anybody would have confused.
And if there is a game announced now called Resident Evil, it sounds like a dumb name.
Yeah,
It's a weird name.
it really is.
They're actually a pretty big band.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they are.
215,000 monthly listeners for an 80s band that I'd never heard of. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
That's our new goal for the podcast. We need more than 215,000 monthly listeners.
Hey,
So
everybody, let's beat Biohazard.
let's beat Biohazard. I don't think we will.
That's my threshold for success in life now.
Is just to beat Biohazard.
Yeah.
Okay.
A contest was held in the company for a new name, with Resident Evil being the winner. I read somewhere that it was from the movie Sweet Home, that there was like a sign that says there's Resident Evil or something like that. I don't know the direct quote.
Yeah,
I couldn't find anything online other than message boards saying that, so it might be apocryphal.
Well, and I know someone. I think in the English translation of the game Sweet Home, they put it in there. This Residence of Evil. I think they just put it in there just for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Resident Evil.
Oh, the iconic eyeball.
Characters originally had a major anime influence. The main character would have a katana instead of a gun.
That would have been interesting.
One character, Gelzer, was a military veteran with Herculean strength and a bionic eye.
That's pretty cool.
That would have been a choice.
It would have been a choice, and it is really cool, but it would have been a choice.
That would have been a choice.
Would have been a different game. And they waited a whole Resident Evil 4, they had a giant walking mechanical Napoleon robot thing. So So they got there. They got to anime at some point. There was also a skinny black character who would have been like the humorous sidekick. Damn it! Why did they remove it?
Yeah, we needed we needed more Chris Tucker at that time.
There's a zombie in here.
Man, I can't understand what you're saying.
Yeah. All he goes, moo. Can't even talk.
Yeah.
I can't do a black sidekick voice.
I'm not even going to attempt one.
Yeah.
Mine would just probably come off racist.
Let's definitely not.
I hate that they removed this. That would have been like a member of Stars, like the new guy, just hapless and just comedic. I guess this movie's funny enough without that, but
I would love a character who's like, it was supposed to be their day off, and they were like, I'm not even supposed to be here today.
God damn.
I mean, technically, Leon Kennedy showed up on.
Damn, I'm not supposed to be here.
I mean, Leon Kennedy showed up on his first day.
But Leon's cool.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
But your first day is like, of all days, the day you should probably be there.
that's true.
Come on.
It's one of the most important days.
Like, no one called him. Like, hey, you don't have to come into work today. There's like a zombie apocalypse happening right now.
Just missed.
No one called him.
I didn't check my voicemail.
Yeah, it's clearly
That's bullshit.
Got like 18 missed calls from work. Like, what the hell?
The characters became caricatures of American heroes and villains. In a desire to immediately wow the player, Mikami decided to shoot some film sequences with actors. I chose the actors based solely on how much they look like the characters. Acting was not something we looked into. No Japanese dub, but English is a compulsory class in many Japanese classrooms, at least at the time it was. So they
Like
thought,
I said, Barry Burton's character was an English teacher in Japan.
and so they said English,
He's Australian.
English voice acting only. There's no Japanese voice acting, which is funny. Late 1995, Capcom considered canceling the game altogether due to a recommendation from an American consulting firm. Capcom was losing money at the time, but Fujiwara insisted. He's like, let the boy watch.
Feel it in my plums.
Feel it. This game's going to be big. Let the boy cook. So Fujiwara is sticking his neck out multiple times to like let Mikami do this for a game that they didn't know how it would turn out. It's already been completely scratched once. Okamoto, manager-in-chief of Capcom Studios, disliked the tank controls and thought gamers would hate it. He also disliked the need for ink ribbons to save your game. He's like, you're going to spend half the time looking for ink ribbons. People won't care about the story. You're going to be frustrated.
I mean, you get so many ink ribbons in the game, for crying out loud.
It's still annoying, though. I hate it.
I agree.
Anything that like blocks my ability to save the game does irritate me, but in a survival horror game, it does make sense. You don't want. It's just the fear of losing progress would be more. It's worse than like you're not following the story of the game. I get what he's going for.
Yeah, especially if you're the type of person that maybe just sits down and plays for a half hour. You know, like you don't have an unlimited amount of ink ribbons, and it's like you're going to burn out if all of a sudden you just play 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there, save your progress multiple times.
As an adult gamer now, who was almost the age of Barry Burton, shy by 1 year, I'm very happy that the director's cut version on the PS Plus Premium Spartacus device, it has save states, save and load. I didn't use an ink ribbon once on my playthrough. And it also
bumps your rank up at the end.
It also has a rewind feature. So if something bad happens, you miss a couple shots, you can just rewind. So that changes the whole landscape of the game.
Oh, God, that does.
But the game was released as it was, despite Okamoto's complaints. December 23rd, 1995. The game was revealed to a selection of game journalists invited to a press conference. However, many journalists didn't even come, and no one really cared that showed up.
Chumps.
March 22nd, 1996, the game was released in Japan. Capcom had included a customer feedback card in the game to receive the thoughts of gamers. They were quickly flooded with feedback cards, and gamers were pumped. Resident Evil was the first PlayStation game to exceed 1 million sales in Japan. And today, including the various director's cuts, sales exceed 5.1 million copies. Mikami still thinks the game has many flaws. And afterwards, he was promoted to produce and take charge of the Resident Evil series.
Damn. The man.
I told you the boy was up to something.
Yeah. I mean, it does have its flaws, but I mean, it was doing something different at the time, and You're going to stumble out of the gate a little bit.
It's just such a confident first game, and
It
such
really
a
is.
genre, like a console-defining game too.
Yeah.
It really is, because I don't even know how I got it. Like, I didn't
I rented
ask
it.
for it. I just owned it at one point.
I rented a full-on PlayStation just to play this game. Like, I begged my mom at the time. I think I was like a freshman in high school. And I was like, of course, I wasn't making money at the time. And I was like, listen, I want to rent this game. And she's like, what's it about? I'm like, these guys are just, banging around in a house. That's it. I'm pretty sure that's how I said it.
Brian, if you're listening, my older brother, well, how do we get these games? How did you convince mom and dad? Because this is not something we should have had.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
This was definitely a game I did not play in the living room TV. I played downstairs. Yeah.
So, special thanks to Itchy Tasty and Resident Evil of Gods and Men Part 1, I think is the name of it, from 3rd edition books. I've been listening to one on audiobook and reading the other one, and that's where I got a lot of this information. I'm also going to be going to Reddit and walkthroughs on GameFAQs, and I won't remember to thank everyone, but this is covering it all, so thank you for all of that for the next 70 episodes.
Yeah.
Now I'm legally free of it. They can't get me.
The Residents of Evil, that YouTube channel, they're a good resource for a lot of Resident Evil stuff.
I did watch Elvis the Alien has like complete rundowns of the movies and the TV show, and I've already seen them, but they're just fun to watch.
What was it? Elvis the Alien?
Elvis the Alien.
Okay. See, I never got past the second movie. So I am kind of cautiously optimistic of watching the rest of it.
Of Jovovich?
Yes, the Jovovich Chronicles.
You've only seen one of them?
I've only seen 2 of them.
There's 6 of them.
I know.
They get better and better.
Oh, do they?
In a way,
Really? Do they?
in a way, they do.
Yeah.
I remember walking out of Welcome to Raccoon City.
It's like fucking prank show where they're like, what can we get away with before people stop coming? And they keep going further, and everyone just keeps coming.
Pushing it. They keep pushing it.
Like they're
Kept
still-
making millions and millions of dollars.
They're still eating it. I don't know what
Yeah,
to do.
right, yeah.
Zach Kreger's new Resident Evil film, I'm going to be really pumped for. I keep hearing good things about it.
Yeah, he says he wants to do something different, which I applaud that. Like sometimes when you like are so, die hard, like we have to make it for the video gamers, like it alienates the rest of the fan base because they feel like they're missing out on something or whatever. So
And then you have Welcome to Raccoon City, which I like a lot of the decisions they made.
yeah, they
But
tried to
just-
blend the first one and the second one. They tried to tell 2 stories in one movie.
Just do one of them.
Yeah.
Because I like the casting for a lot of it.
with the exception of Leon Kennedy. That was a dumbass casting.
I thought he was fine.
No, he wasn't fine.
He wasn't hot enough for you.
He wasn't hot enough.
Yeah.
He was a skinny little turd.
Those thighs were not creamy.
Those were not creamy thighs.
If you're wondering what that's about, check out our Mario Kart World episode where Stoy speaks about
No,
Daisy.
you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. You just skip that episode.
Hi, I'm Daisy.
You skip that episode.
Let the boy watch.
Oh dear.
Yes, that's kind of what we have leading up to the first game. I was goofing around after work and I made 17 pages of outlines for the first game. So
Wow.
That'll be fun.
That's gonna be a great episode.
these are gonna be a little more in depth than your regular raw dogs, and we'll see how they evolve. I do want to do we'll do character check-ins when we get to the next game. It'll be like, all right, what's going on with this character? How have they changed? We'll kind of rank the games as we go along, and
Are they gonna go into the top kind of
not into
okay.
the separate ranking. This is its own
just
thing.
its own Resident Evil ranking?
I
Okay,
also
go.
want us to give a number grade on how functional is this location actually. Is this a house that makes sense, or is it a video game level?
I would say the majority of the underground laboratories that Umbrella builds are highly unfunctional. Like how?
Like, why?
Yeah, why?
Heck, I'll do an electrical breakdown. Does this make sense?
Yeah, right.
But I'm just curious.
How long would it
all right,
take to build this thing?
If the dining room is there, why is the kitchen in the basement? It's a long ways away. There's an elevator,
That's a long hallway.
but and there's a lot of hallways.
Yeah.
And I want to kind of look at these things objectively and would these make sense? Is this police station? I understand it used to be an art museum.
There's no bathrooms in the original Resident Evil 2
I love
PlayStation.
it.
Yeah,
I
there's
love
no
it.
bathrooms in it whatsoever.
Get to work. You don't
Yeah.
need to pee.
You don't need to pee.
Poop at
You
home.
on your own time.
I remember they did make a comment about that when they were talking about Resident Evil 2 Remake, that I think the developers even said, yes, there will be bathrooms in this game.
This has been the first episode of Zombie Dogs. Up next, 2 weeks for Patreon members, 1 month for main feed. We'll be discussing Resident Evil 1 for the PlayStation 1, as well as the Director's Cut and DualShock versions. So special thanks to our Patreon executive producers, Brian Ward, Ryan, Christy Nick, Kipper, Phil Wright, Jordan Hoff, Kelly Gutowski, Bryant Ross, Phil Just, Red Bear Phil, thanks Tyler, Justin Melly, Just Sonic, Horny Jim, Spetsnaz, and Ejot to get access to episodes in advance as well as bonus content. Check out patreon.com/Hair of the Dogcast.
And there's a lot of bonus content.
We will see you next time here on Zombie Dogs.
Bye.